1. Secrets revealed, unveiling North Korea's dark side. In a country where secrecy is the foundation of its power, a few rare and shocking videos have escaped its iron grip, giving the world an unprecedented look into the harsh and hidden reality of North Korea. These clips aren't just any ordinary recordings. They capture the raw truth behind the brutal life within this isolated nation. North Korea's government goes to extreme lengths to control information, and anyone caught trying to expose these truths is putting their life on the line. These leaked videos show desperate attempts to escape, children barely surviving in extreme conditions, and the terrifying consequences of speaking out against the regime. What exactly has North Korea been hiding all these years? From unimaginable punishments to the severe violation of basic human rights, the cruelty of this regime is finally being exposed. Stick around as we dive deep into the hidden footage they desperately tried to keep from the world, uncovering the untold stories of a country trapped in fear and the silent suffering of its people. What you're about to see will leave you in absolute shock. 2. The Journey of Kim Dongchul, From Businessman to Spy. Let me introduce you to Kim Dongchul, an American businessman who risked it all when he stepped into the shadows of North Korea. His story is one of boldness, secrets, and unbelievable twists. Kim was drawn to socialist ideas from a young age, which led him and his wife to start missionary work in China back in 2001. Little did they know, this path would lead them straight to one of North Korea's highest-ranking military officials, Han Yong-chol, who just happened to be Kim's wife's uncle. This rare connection gave Kim an opportunity that most foreigners could only dream of. By 2004, he took a leap of faith, poured his entire life savings, $2.60 million, into a business venture in North Korea. He quickly became a significant figure in the country's economic cooperation, attracting foreign investments and gaining unprecedented access to the inner workings of the regime. But as Kim became more involved, he started noticing things that made him uneasy. Behind the curtain, things weren't quite as they seemed. Then came the game-changing moment. In 2009, Kim made a risky choice. He became a spy for the CIA. For 5 intense years, he walked a fine line, gathering intelligence while constantly being watched by North Korean authorities. Can you imagine the pressure of living a double life in one of the most dangerous places on Earth? In 2014, the stakes became even higher. After his business was partially destroyed by North Korean officials, Kim did the unthinkable. He openly criticized the regime. This was a bold move in a country where even a whisper of dissent can mean death. Unaware of just how much trouble he was in, Kim returned to North Korea in 2015 for a national celebration. But instead of enjoying the festivities, he was arrested, blindfolded, and taken to a secret location. Desperate to save himself, Kim named 6 North Koreans, who sadly were never seen again. Facing a death sentence, Kim's fate took a surprising turn. His sentence was reduced to 10 years of hard labor, and on state TV he made a tearful confession, admitting to spying for South Korea. But he left out the part about working for the CIA, probably to protect his own life. In a miraculous twist, diplomatic efforts, led by President Donald Trump, secured Kim's release in May 2018. His return to the U.S. brought with it a jaw-dropping story of brutal interrogations, unimaginable abuse, and an inside look at life under one of the world's most oppressive regimes. Kim Dongchul's story forces us to rethink everything we thought we knew about North Korea. So, what about his journey left the biggest impact on you? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. 3. Otto Wu Beer, the tourist who never made it back. Otto Wu Beer's story is a heartbreaking example of just how cruel North Korea can be. In 2016, at only 21 years old, Otto set out on what was supposed to be an exciting journey. While on his way to Hong Kong, he decided to take a detour and visit North Korea, joining a tour group that promised an adventurous and safe experience in one of the world's most mysterious countries. However, what was meant to be a quick, thrilling visit soon spiraled into a nightmare. On January 2, 2016, as Otto prepared to leave North Korea, everything changed. He was arrested by authorities for allegedly trying to steal a propaganda poster from his hotel. A small act like this, which might seem harmless in many places, was blown up into a major crime by the regime. Otto was shockingly sentenced to 15 years of hard labor for what most would see as a trivial offense. Just weeks after his sentencing, in March 2016, Otto's health took a devastating turn. He mysteriously fell into a coma, and for over a year, North Korean officials kept the details of his condition shrouded in secrecy. They claimed he had contracted botulism and slipped into unconsciousness, but the real story remains unclear. In June 2017, Otto was finally flown back home to the United States. But tragically, he was still in a coma. Despite the best efforts of his family and doctors, Otto never regained consciousness, and his parents made the agonizing decision to take him off life support. He passed away on June 19, 2017. In a later court ruling, North Korea was held accountable for Otto's torture and death, and his family was awarded damages. Even though the regime denies any wrongdoing, Otto's tragic fate serves as a chilling reminder of the dangerous and unpredictable nature of life under North Korea's oppressive rule. 4. The Frozen River Escape, a heartbreaking attempt for freedom. One of the most haunting videos to emerge from the North Korea-China border shows a desperate and tragic attempt to escape the brutal regime. The border, known for its heavy military presence, is a dangerous place where soldiers have standing orders to shoot anyone trying to defect. In this chilling footage, we witness a mother and her young daughter attempting the perilous journey across a frozen river that divides the two countries. This dangerous crossing has claimed countless lives over the years, with only a handful managing to make it out alive. As the video unfolds, the unthinkable happens. The mother steps onto the ice, and in an instant, North Korean guards open fire. She is struck and killed, leaving her terrified daughter stranded and frozen in fear on the riverbank. What happened to the little girl remains a mystery, but the grim reality is that her chances of survival are heartbreakingly slim. The sight of soldiers dragging the mother's lifeless body back into North Korea is a devastating reminder of the cruelty of the regime and the immense risks faced by those seeking freedom. Over the past 75 years, only around 200 defectors have made it to the United States, while the vast majority of escape attempts end in tragic failure. Bribing border guards, though sometimes successful, is incredibly risky and rarely works. This tragic footage serves as a stark and chilling reminder of the high price people pay when trying to break free from North Korea's oppressive grasp. 5. North Korea's propaganda show, a chilling amphitheater spectacle. As the world battled the COVID-19 pandemic, an unexpected video from North Korea surfaced, offering a rare peek into the secretive nation. In a packed amphitheater, spectators sat masked, watching a grand spectacle put on by the regime. The goal? To ignite nationalist pride and reinforce the image of North Korea as strong, independent, and untouchable by outside forces. For decades, North Korea has isolated itself from the rest of the world, maintaining strict control over any foreign contact or influence. Only government-approved media is allowed, with severe punishments for anyone caught with banned material. At one point, a trickle of South Korean pop culture began seeping into the country through underground trade with China. But North Korea swiftly shut that door, reinstating harsh bans and punishing anyone caught consuming outside entertainment. But the video that recently surfaced reveals something even more unsettling. In the footage, North Korean soldiers are shown firing at targets designed to look like American soldiers, as part of a larger anti-American propaganda campaign. This campaign paints the U.S. as the enemy and South Korea as its puppet. It's a show meant to drum up nationalist pride and present Kim Jong-un as the nation's strong protector. Yet, this raises a bigger question. If a real conflict were to break out, how would it unfold? With up to 1 million soldiers, North Korea's military is no small force. But South Korea, supported by nearly 30,000 U.S. troops, isn't one to back down either. This video leaves us wondering, is this all just posturing? Or are we witnessing the beginnings of something far more dangerous? Six, Pyongyang Sunan International Airport, a gateway few can use. At first glance, Pyongyang Sunan International Airport might seem out of place in a country where most citizens are forbidden from leaving. Yet this airport holds great significance for North Korea's regime. Its primary function is for official state business, serving as the entry point for foreign dignitaries, diplomats, and special delegations who visit for high-stakes meetings and negotiations. Even with heavy international sanctions in place, the airport plays a crucial role in North Korea's limited import and export activities. The country's economy depends on a small amount of foreign trade, and this airport helps keep those connections alive. Only a select few, such as high-ranking officials and diplomats, are allowed to travel abroad, making Pyongyang Sunan a rare gateway to the outside world. But beyond its practical purposes, the airport stands as a symbol of national pride. To North Korea, it sends a clear message to the world. Despite their isolation, they can still maintain international ties and engage in diplomacy. However, for the average North Korean, the dream of international travel remains just that, a dream, far out of reach. 7. Strength or show? The reality behind North Korean soldiers' performances. In a bizarre spectacle that feels straight out of an 80s action movie, North Korean soldiers put on displays of sheer strength and endurance. Stripped to the waist, they smash bricks with their bare hands, bend metal rods with their throats, and break free from heavy chains, all while Kim Jong-un and his closest aides watch with pride, soaking in the spectacle. While these feats may look impressive, they raise some serious questions about the soldiers' readiness for actual modern warfare. Sure, they can bend metal, but where are the tactical drills or advanced combat techniques that are essential for today's military training? Where are the power throws or endurance exercises like leg tucks that most militaries rely on? Experts believe these performances are more about showcasing propaganda than preparing soldiers for real combat. North Korea uses these jaw-dropping stunts to project an image of invincibility to both its citizens and the international community. But behind the scenes, the reality of their military capability might be far less impressive. 8. Starving the future. North Korean children facing hunger and hard labor. One of the most heartbreaking realities in North Korea is the widespread hunger and forced child labor. Imagine this: over 60,000 children are teetering on the edge of starvation, many of them trapped in grueling labor just to survive. Due to the heavy international sanctions, delivering food and essentials has become nearly impossible, with most shipping companies avoiding the region to steer clear of legal troubles. These children not only face empty stomachs, but are also being robbed of their childhoods. Many have already fallen victim to malnutrition and deadly diseases, all worsened by poor sanitation. Even though UNICEF has managed to maintain a limited presence in North Korea, their efforts are dwarfed by the overwhelming scale of the crisis. The current situation brings back chilling memories of the 1990s famine, a tragedy that claimed up to 3 million lives. Fast forward to today, nearly 40% of North Koreans are still undernourished, and sadly, the suffering shows no sign of ending. 9. Watching TV, a crime with devastating consequences. In a rare and spine-chilling video captured by a South Korean research team, we witness the terrifying reality of North Korea's strict punishments. 2 young men stand before a massive crowd in a packed amphitheater, accused of committing a crime that would be unimaginable in most parts of the world, watching and sharing banned South Korean dramas, known as chromas in North Korea. In any other country, Watching TV wouldn't even be considered a crime, but in North Korea, consuming foreign media is strictly prohibited. The consequences? Harsh and severe. This footage shows the moment both men are sentenced to 12 years of hard labor. It's a grim reminder of how far North Korea's regime will go to maintain control and crush even the smallest acts of defiance. 10. The Woman Who Escaped Twice, a story of courage and tragedy. Our final story is one of unimaginable strength and heartbreaking desperation. It's the story of a North Korean woman who, against all odds, tried to escape her oppressive life, not once, but twice. After the tragic loss of her husband, who succumbed to the harsh living conditions in North Korea, she made the courageous decision to flee. Her first attempt ended in failure when guards captured her and sent her back to North Korea. Her punishment was swift and brutal. Sentenced to hard labor, she endured inhumane conditions, barely surviving the relentless work. Yet despite her weakened state and immense suffering, she dared to try again. This time, physically drained and emotionally battered, she made another desperate attempt to flee. But tragically, she was captured once more, just before reaching freedom. The second time, her fate took a darker and more terrifying turn. Witnesses reported seeing her blindfolded, separated from other prisoners, and then she disappeared. No one saw her again, until a disturbing photo emerged showing her lifeless body being placed into a container. Her final fate is shrouded in mystery. Some believe her body was disposed of in the sea, while others claim it was dissolved with chemicals. We may never know the truth, but her story stands as a chilling testament to the extreme lengths North Korea will go to silence those who dare to resist. These rare clips and haunting stories offer a disturbing look into the daily lives of North Koreans living under one of the world's most oppressive regimes. These are the stories the regime wants to erase. Stories of unimaginable cruelty, fear, and suffering that continue to unfold behind closed borders. If today's video shed light on the hidden realities inside North Korea, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Eagle Discovery. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What's your take on these shocking stories? And, of course, let us know which country you want us to explore next. Thanks for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more eye-opening stories from around the world.